Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are before you to look at, to speak about a number of pressing issues. Furthest on my right is Honorable Aden Daoud Mohammed, the Member of Parliament for Wajir East. And also here is my colleague Hussein Abdibare, the Member of Parliament for Tarbaj constituency in Wajir. My name is Mohammed Ado. I'm the MP for Wajir South. So three legislators from Wajir talking about three pertinent issues that are very close to our hearts and also that we need urgent attention on. We will be talking about the chaos that we are seeing with the rains falling in northeastern province, for the northeastern region, the usual chaos that we see whenever it rains and the floods, roads cut off, people stranded on the roads, no supplies going in and out, or coming in from major cities, up to and including Garissa, which is only 300 or so kilometers away from Nairobi today, cut off, and no vehicles coming from there. I've prepared a short statement on the state of the infrastructure, and I'll read that statement to begin with, and then my colleagues will add on to what they have to say about the issue of infrastructure. We'll also be talking about the alleged dumping of toxic waste in northern Kenya, and we'll also talk about the doctor strike. Those three issues is what we will address. I'll now start reading the statement that we've prepared. 60 years since independence, northeastern Kenya continues to grapple with significant infrastructural deficits, a reality that hampers the region's socio-economic progress. Despite the nation's advances, this crucial region remains marginalized in terms of road networks, access to essential services, and broader infrastructural development. Today, we stand in solidarity with the communities of Northeastern as the leaders from Wajir County and raise a collective voice against the enduring neglect and we are urging immediate and substantial investment in the region's infrastructure. The lack of proper roads and essential infrastructure in northeastern Kenya is not just a matter of regional concern, but a national issue, and some would even say even a national shame that reflects on our commitment to equality, equal development for Kenyans. The current state of the dilapidated and insufficient road networks severely restricts mobility, access to markets, healthcare, education, and emergency services, disproportionately affecting the lives and livelihoods of millions of people. It's not enough to say that the region has a lot to offer Kenya in terms of economic development and also adding on to the national coffers. We have got livestock, we've got all kinds of minerals that remain untapped. And it is alarming that after 6 decades of independence, residents of Northeastern are still waiting for the fruits of development, and that other regions have progressively enjoyed these developments which are lacking in that part of the country. The region's potential for contributing to national growth and stability is immense, yet untapped due to the historical and ongoing disparity in infrastructure investment. We call upon the national government, county governments, development partners and stakeholders to prioritize and fast-track comprehensive development projects in northeastern Kenya, particularly that road we keep hearing about called the Great Horn project, which is supposed to link the entire region all the way from Garissa to Mandera, which we keep hearing about. The road is at Modogash right now. Parts of it have been swept in the last floods. Many parts are at risk right now in the ongoing floods. And we want to see that road completed. There's been no movement so far, no contractor on the ground. All we keep hearing are the noises being made by the government to the effect that it's going to be built, but again, we are not seeing any movement on the ground, and we need to see that road built as soon as possible. We're also seeing people cut off, buses plying the busy roads, if I can call them that way, because they're almost non-existent, stuck, and floods sweeping away some parts of the tarmac that links Garissa to Nairobi. We saw the people who, pictures of the people who slept in the open and within the floods when that bus that was flying from Nairobi to Wajir got swept away last night. Luckily, we thank God that there were no casualties. And, scenes like this happened just a few months ago. Parts of these roads linking the region to other parts of the country were swept away. The Kenya National Highway Agency, KENHA, just did, covering that place with, maram and sand, and waited without repairing that part of the road. We are wondering, why was the road not completely repaired after the last floods? Why did we have to wait until now for another set of floods, another rain, only to face the same issues that we faced a few months ago? We also want to ask how much money was used then, and how much money are we going to use now to repair those sections of the road? We need to act. I mean, it's unfortunate that, and I believe this translates to the fact that, the lack of care some within government might have from that part of the region. And it's not enough to say that we've got many Somalis appointed to big positions in government. It's not enough because it's not showing on the ground. We are seeing the same tokenism and tokenistic appointments that we have seen in past governments, all the way from Kenyatta, Moi, Kibaki, where people are appointed to big positions in government, and we are not seeing any impact of that on the ground. We do not have infrastructure. Our roads are nothing to write home about. And we face, blockages and people being cut off, areas being cut off, people not getting supplies, sometimes for months on end whenever it rains. This must stop, and it's time we started seeing clear and proper investment in northeastern Kenya. 60 years is enough. We've waited for this infrastructure development for 60 years. Enough is enough. We want to see proper roads constructed. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. My name is Hussein Abdibare, Member of Parliament, Tarbaj constituency. And I'll wish to add also my voice to the same sentiment expressed by my colleague, Honorable Ado, who just spoke before me. That I will start by saying that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. This region we are talking about is for the whole of Kenyans. Northeastern, in as much as people from Northeastern are settled there, is any part of the country. And any part that is left out should not be allowed by anyone. It is sad and unfortunate that basic services, basic goods cannot, a whole region, just because before you get to Garissa, the main road that was cut off in the last rainy season is again cut off. Last night, a whole bus was swept, and it's by the grace of God that those who were in were saved this morning. So this story of always lamenting on our part is saddening us and saddening any Kenyan who wants integration in this country, who wants functional interaction in this country, progressing and prospering. It's unfortunate that we are to repeat this story every now and then. And it looks like this, the country is so wide and so big that we can afford to probably even give out certain parts because we cannot attend to it. We cannot give service to it. It's like an appendage that is not necessary to have it. And this should not go on. It's not only during the rain season that we get troubles because of roads as people from the northern part of the country. Even on issues, it touches on issues of security. Because IEDs, which are planted by criminals across the border, usually utilize roads which are not tarmacked. Because those roads are not tarmacked, most of our soldiers, most of the buses flying there are all blown by those trucks. But if the tarmacking is done, even issues of insecurity is going to be lessened. So this issue has come up severally, and it's becoming shame to the whole country. And we do not want to come here every now and then and lament about it. So we are here to expose the challenges, the particular challenges faced by this region because of unattended road infrastructure. Children or students who have closed school are stranded in the middle of the whole region. Goods are not going, medical supplies are not going there. And this is repeated season after season until it's becoming a song. 60 years is a shame. And I hope and pray that during this term of this government, this will be done. I know a promise has been done, and some sections were given to a number of contractors, though they are yet to begin. I hope the whole stretch, the whole hog will be done this season. And currently, I think the emergency part, especially those sections that are stopping passes and cars or lorries taking essential goods and services to that region, must be attended to by the Ministry of Roads, and specifically by Kenya, because that road is served or serviced by Kenya National Highway Authority. This has to be done urgently. It's not a matter, it's a demand actually. It has to be done as soon as possible so that people from that region feel that their government is attending to them. This has to be done.
There's nothing much I can add to the very eloquent presentation of the problems of Northern Kenya by my two colleagues. This has been the song during my time when I was in school. Northeastern province used to be called nothing except problems. And it looks like now that I'm aging, it is becoming the same thing. The money for this road network has already been given by the World Bank for the last 5 years. The only problem is the incompetence of those agencies that are in charge of procuring the services of contractors so that they can build this road. Sometimes I wonder whether we need a Ministry of Roads and Transport, because this ministry is so huge. The road network, the transport, our airlines, our shipping lanes, all of them come under the minister. Sometimes I wonder whether the ministry has been overburdened with mandate that it cannot do. One of the reasons why, for example, we are having this problem of the toxic waste is because there is no road network there. The road network, in my opinion, I think this is a very deliberate reason, because 60 years we cannot be able to fail to build one road in the whole county, in the whole north for 60 years. And if this country doesn't have the money, we already have a loan that has been granted by the World Bank. Why money that has been given 5 years ago, and we are paying commitment fees on that money as a country, why is it not being utilized to build the road that it was meant to build? It doesn't make any sense. Actually, part of that money was used to build the road from, I think, Kitale to Marala. And that road has been completed 4 years ago, or if I'm not wrong. And the money has just been lying in the coffers of this country, doing nothing. As I said, the issue of the road network has been dealt with eloquently by my colleagues. The other issue that is really aching us, and we have been hearing rumors for the last 20 years, 30 years, is this issue of the toxic waste disposal in the arid north. Toxic waste, we are not sure about what Honorable Jirongo has said. We are asking for a thorough investigation. What Honorable Jirongo said was that he's aware that during the time of President Moi, the toxic waste has been buried up in the north. If that information is true, then that is our government at that time has committed genocide against the people of the north. But since we don't know the veracity of the statements by Honorable Jirongo, we as leaders from the area are asking for a thorough investigation. I'm aware that we have a nuclear regulatory agency. I hope that they have the capacity to investigate and find out whether these issues are true as said by Honorable Jirongo. People from the northern region we have always been complaining at the rate of cancer in our area. We've always kept on asking ourselves, why do we have all of a sudden the last 20, 30 years, why is the cancer rate in the north going up? But since we are laymen and we do not have the answers to those questions, maybe, and I will repeat the word maybe, this is one of the reasons why we have such a high prevalence of cancer in the region. What we are asking as leaders from Wajir and leaders from the region is that a thorough investigation be organized, and we find whether the veracity or the lack of thereof of the statements of the Honorable Jirongo. And I will ask that Honorable Jirongo should be asked to present himself to the DCI, and he should make a statement, because what he is alleging is actually it is even more than an organized crime. It is a crime by the highest officers of this country against the very people those officers represent. So we demand for, and we will insist that a thorough investigation be made, and we find out whether it is true that toxic waste has been dumped and buried in the north.
Yeah, as my colleague said, we would urge also Honorable Jirongo to add more light on, to shed more light on the details of that conversation he says ensued between him and former President, the late Daniel Arap Moi, dumping of nuclear waste in northeastern Kenya. What Jirongo alleged in that interview, that recent interview, is something that has been going, it's part of the rumor mills, if I can say, and the claims and counter-claims we've kept hearing as we grew up in northeastern Kenya over the years about the existence of nuclear or toxic waste buried in the midst of our region. Places that we've had before include parts of Garissa, particularly the northern part of Garissa, west of Wajir, south of Wajir, all these places. And there are people who swear that they will be able to pinpoint some of these dumping grounds, that they could identify some of these dumping grounds. We are calling for a fully fledged investigation into these allegations. It's time to put this very, very crucial issue, something that is very important to the health and existence of the people of that region who are no less Kenyans. We have seen an epidemic of cancer over the years, something the people of the region say was triggered by the burying of this toxic waste in the region. we need proper investigations. It cannot continue to be just rumors. We cannot be getting fragments of information, as we've seen, the last of which came from Honorable Jirongo. And as time continues, we need to be a country that is transparent, that investigates any issues that are of concern to the citizens of this country. And we call upon proper investigations. We need to get to the bottom of this matter. If at all it's true that toxic waste was buried and in any investigations is found out to be true, we would need a cleanup process done and also reparations given to those who have been affected. But all these things are secondary to the need that we have today for a proper investigation by experts, specialists in this subject to ensure that this actually happened and put this matter to rest. Thank you very much.